Imagine reinventing the wheel. Imagine finding something that is way better than fire. Now imagine creating a new way to measure time that is more precise, more efficient, and definitely much more beautiful. Well, Grand Seiko have done it. This is the Grand Seiko Tentagraph. You may look at it and say, this seems like a regular chronograph. But you couldn't be farther from the truth. This watch is the very first mechanical chronograph from the Japanese house, which is kind of strange, considering that Grand Seiko has been around for more than 60 years. Aesthetically, this watch is impressive. Yes, it is big, with a 43.2mm titanium case. The dial has the Mount Iwate texture in blue, which when lit with sunlight becomes just mesmerizing. The case has angular facets, which give it a lot of personality and a really aggressive look. The case and bracelet are made out of hardened titanium, which means it's hard to scratch, but at the same time it is incredibly hard to machine and finish. Having said that, the high mirror polished surfaces are finished with Zaratsu polishing, which is impressive on its own. These types of finishes are often compared to far more expensive watches. Yes, this watch is beautiful, but I truly believe that the most beautiful part of this watch is in the back. In fact, that is where the name Tentagraph comes from. The movement inside this watch beats to 36,000 VPH, which means it is capable of measuring tenths of a second, which that's where the 10 comes from. The T comes from 3-day power reserve, which is unheard of, and I mean 36,000 VPH and 3 days of power reserve. No one has ever done that. That's where the T comes from. Now, the A comes from automatic, which is for an automatic movement, of course, and the graph comes from the chronograph, which is the main function of this watch. The movement inside the Tentagraph is the 9SC5 caliber, Grand Seiko's latest high beat movement. This 36,000 VPH movement ensures greater accuracy and features a dual impulse escapement, which improves efficiency and longevity. The 80-hour power reserve is a considerable achievement for a high-beat caliber, representing Grand Seiko's innovation in watchmaking. This basically means that Grand Seiko took Swiss watchmaking and with a hand on the hip just made it better. As I mentioned before, the case is made out of high-intensity titanium, making it both lighter and more scratch-resistant than stainless steel. Of course, we have a full titanium bracelet, which is acceptable. We have a double sapphire crystal and a ceramic bezel. The watch itself is big, huge, some people would say. But the titanium makes this watch wearable, and the curved lugs and titanium bracelet make it comfortable to wear. Now, the lugs. Listen. I am a simple man. Grand Seiko I see, Grand Seiko I wanna put in a leather strap. I can understand lugs that measure 19mm. Hell, I can even understand 21mm. But 23? I mean, come on. Couldn't you just make it 22? Is that 1mm super crucial? Anyway, I went on a shopping spree and now I am a proud owner of over 30 straps of 23mm. The Tentagraph has a water resistance of 100 meters, which is impressive for a chronograph with no screw down pushers. But believe me, I will probably never test this water resistance. Now let's talk about brand heritage. Seiko is single-handedly responsible of destroying half of the Swiss watch brands in the 60s when they invented the quartz movement. Now, Grand Seiko is revered for its craftsmanship, quality, and tradition. This watch just shows that the brand keeps pushing forward, finding new ways to innovate. The retail price of this watch comes around $13,600. Yes, it's not affordable. But I believe that once we put everything that this watch offers on the table, the price makes sense. The finishing is spectacular. We have an innovative and unique movement that I truly believe has Swiss watchmakers shaking. The caseback is just stunning. The only thing we could argue about this watch is the size. Now we have established that this watch is something else. But who is its biggest competitor? And I don't really think I have to name one, because there is one that is super obvious, which is the Rolex Daytona. The Daytona's retail price comes around $16,350, which is 20% more expensive than the Tentagraph. So the Daytona is more expensive, you can't get it, and you don't even get to see the movement in the back. I actually see a clear winner here. It is astonishing to me that people even consider the Daytona as competition for the Tentagraph. The finishing is at Patek level. The movement finishing is up to Lange und Söhne level, or even higher. But let's just remember that these brands are at least 5 times more expensive than Grand Seiko, which just says a lot about the Grand Seiko Tentagraph. But let me know, would you buy this watch? Leave it in the comments.